Hello everyone, welcome to Optimal Training Group. For those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. I have been gone for about 3 months now, and if you don't want to hear this, you can fast forward maybe 2 minutes into the content that I have for you today. But I've been gone for a while, and maybe some of you are wondering, oh, I haven't seen any content from Optimal Training Group, recently in the last 2-3 months, and a few things have happened. I've been crazy busy with work. I had a few deadlines that I had to meet that kept me up late at night. And it didn't help that I had surgery on my wrist. I tore the ligaments in the ruptured the radial, I forget what they call it, in my thumb. And so that took me out for a little bit. But I'm back now and I'm excited. And the reason why I wanted to create this 2-minute video, this part of the video, is because while I was gone, there were people still subscribing to my channel. I think I had about, in the last 3 months, I've had about maybe somewhere between 50 to 60 new subscribers. And I just want to tell y'all, that means a lot to me. I appreciate you all for supporting my channel. Because to me, it means that I am creating content that is valuable to you guys. And that's what it's all about, is being able to help somebody out. There were times in the beginning of my SharePoint and Power Apps days, and even as a full stack developer, where I struggled a lot with certain things. And then to go on YouTube, well, back then, when I first started out in my career, there wasn't really a YouTube. So I had to go through a lot of books. And when YouTube finally came out, there were some videos that I found that helped me a lot. So I want to do the same thing for somebody else, to help them in their journey to becoming a developer, whether it be no code solution or full stack, whatever. I hope that my videos are bringing value to you. So thank you so much for joining my channel. Please like and subscribe and share this video. Thanks again. All right, let's get into today's video. So in today's video, I want to talk about chart. Now, I have already created a video like this before in the past, I think about 2 years ago, maybe even a bit longer. And in that video, I talked about pie chart and how to, in column charts that you're looking at here, and how to go ahead and how do you create these. So for those of you who are new to my channel and have never used charts before, let me just go ahead and explain to you. The way that you add it is you come here, and if you just put in column chart or pie chart, or just click on charts. Here are all the different types of charts that we have. Even though you're limited to these three, if you open up Power BI, and maybe I'll do that one day, I'll show you how, because you can create all types of charts in Power BI and bring that into your Power Apps. And if you want me to create a video on this, please like this video and share it, and just let me know in the comment section that you want to see a Power BI, how I would do that and how I would bring that into Power BI, into Power Apps. But anyway, here are the different three charts you can create, within Power Apps. Now, to create this, I have a SharePoint list. This is my data source, a SharePoint list. And I have this list called travel request, and I have a column called hotel name. And in this column, I have different types of hotels, 6 to be exact. So Hilton, Marriott, Holiday Inn, Best Western, the Ritz-Carlton, Hyatt, So those are the 6. And what I do is, when you select the chart itself, and you go to a property called items, so there's this property called items. The way you build this, you have to provide it a table. You can probably use a collection, but table is the best practice. That's what they recommend if you go to the Microsoft site. And then I have this label, and this label allows me to create these will be the names that you see here. It'll appear along the bottom of each bar chart. And then for the value, which is these numbers you see here, see how you see the 4 and you see 665. So what you do is you just do a count rows, filter, travel request, hotel name, Best Western. Now, and that's how you create the chart. It's fairly simple, and there's a lot of things you can do as well, which I'll get into that in another video, since I've learned a lot about charts since then. But in that video that I created, I had over 6,000 views, I believe, and I didn't get 100% likes. I think I had about 60% likes. And I think the reason was because in that video, I had delegation warning. And you definitely don't want to create an app with delegation warnings, because if you put this to production and you have a large data set, it might not go well. And as you can see, it says delegation warning. The highlighted part of this formula might not work correctly on large data sets. The CountRows operation is not supported by this connector. So for my new folks, if you're not familiar with delegation, what is a delegation? So delegation refers to the process of processing data queries directly on the data source rather than pulling the data into the app to process locally. So here's my data source. Now, when you have a formula like count, and there's lots of formulas that you can use that will process the data within the data source. This CountRows and this filter together, what is happening is it waits for the data to come in locally, and then it uses the CountRows to process it. And the reason why this is bad is because, just like it says, because of large data sets. So within this app, we can only process, the CountRows will only process about maybe 500 to 2,000. And let me show you. So if you go to settings, and if you scroll down on the general, see this? Data row limit. Set how many rows are retrieved from the server-based connections where delegation is not supported. So because delegation is not supported with the CountRows, that's why we're getting this warning. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. As I said, CountRows, when it's used with the filter, it's causing the delegation warning because the CountRows function itself is not delegable, meaning it waits, it doesn't go to the list and do the count. It waits for the data to come into the app before, and then it counts. Now, what if I had over 2,000, what if I had over, let's say I set this to 2,000 or 500. What if I had over 500 then, or 2,000, the limit you can put in here is 2,000. If I had that limit, it's still going to be a problem because what if I had over 2,000? It's not going to work properly. So you want to avoid that. So the way that I solved this and to make this go away was to create this in a collection. So that's the only way to do that, and I'll show you. So let's go ahead and show you. So I have this. So on the dashboard, on visible property of this app, I created this collection here. So clear collect, hotels, travel requests. So what it does is it takes the data that comes from my list and it dumps it into this hotels as a collection. And all I have to do now is just grab this. I'll just copy that. Come over here to the items of my chart. And I'll just replace this name with this. With my collection. And as you can see, that delegation is gone. Paste. So I'm just gonna replace all that. And as you can see, that delegation warning is gone. And the last one. So that's how I fixed the delegation warning. So hopefully that makes sense. Now let me go back here, items. Okay. Now, there really is no specific limit on a collection. There's no limit that I've seen of how much data you can put in the collection, but I would definitely make use of filtering. I mean, if you had 50,000 items in your SharePoint list, you definitely shouldn't be bringing back 50,000 items. You should only bring back what you need, you know. So make sure you make use of filtering and whatever other functions there are to help you to just bring back a specific number of rows from your SharePoint list, you know. So, but if you get into stuff like the Dataverse and certain other, maybe like SQL Server, I believe, or Oracle or whatever other data sources, you don't have. I know for sure Dataverse, you don't deal too much with the delegation warnings that you sometimes get, you know. So, but I'm definitely gonna start getting into Dataverse because I think that's a valuable tool to use as well, Dataverse, and I think it's important to understand that. So I hope this makes sense. I'm creating another video. So let's say, for example, as you can see here, what if I didn't know the specific number of hotels? What if it was, I need to make this dynamic, right? Because what if I had like 12 different hotels? I don't want to list this a big table 12 different times. How do I make it dynamic where I can just go in to my list, you know, get the count and be able to come up with the labels, you know. So I'm in the process of figuring that out now. So when I'm done with that, I'll definitely, you know, create a video and show you how I did that. But thanks again for watching my channel. Please like and share. I would appreciate your comments. I'm up for constructive criticism. I'm also up for some kudos as well. But yeah, like my video. Thanks for watching. Bye.